Hi everyone, it's Alexandria.
And Michael.
Welcome to Never Better Club.
This year, we took on over 100 League of Fire challenges.
And today, we are going to be discussing our top 5 favorite challenges from 2023.
So looking back on this year, we have really two major milestones that we're really excited to talk about. One, it was our first League of Fire season.
Absolutely.
Really excited. We did over 100 challenges, probably close to 200 or more. It's hard to get an exact count on that.
I know for a fact I did closer to 3, maybe 350, but Michael's being conservative. We did challenges almost every day this year, whether it was on screen or off screen. We took on so many challenges and pushed ourselves so hard in 2023. We just are looking forward to the future now. 2024 is going to be insane, and I can't wait to see what we're going to accomplish as a couple and as individuals in the chili community.
Absolutely. And also, it was our first year on YouTube.
Yes, so this is our almost YouTube anniversary, and I believe, if I am correct, January 7th of 2023 is what I consider to be my 1-year anniversary as an extreme chili head. And I think Michael, although he had done extreme challenges before that point, would consider that to be his date as well. So we are just so excited to look back on the year. We have so many accomplishments to talk about, but we have narrowed it down for everyone to our top 5 favorite challenges and most memorable moments from 2023. The things we accomplished, I feel, are just absolutely amazing. I never thought I'd be able to push myself as hard as I did. I am a world record holder. Michael is a world record holder, all within 1 year of our lives, pushing ourselves to the extreme limits in the chili community.
Belts and titles and all sorts of really interesting things that we're going to be getting into today.
Yes, and maybe even we'll tease you with a few things we're working on for the future. We definitely have big plans and big goals set for 2024. Bigger goals than I ever imagined I'd be setting for myself at this point in my life. So what do you say, Michael? Do you want to get into the first number 5 of our countdown for 2023?
Yep. Number 5.
It's hot. It's so hot.
Tube of Terror.
All right, the Tube of Terror. This was a feat for not just me, not just Michael, but for us as a couple. I believe it was our 5th League of Fire challenge and our 5th Extreme Chili challenge in general. And we honestly had no idea what we were getting ourselves into.
It was our 5th League of Fire challenge. It just blows my mind. We just kind of went at it like it was any other challenge and that we had done. And boy, did we learn a lot.
We did learn a lot. And the best part about it is I'll never forget, obviously, the aftermath, the cramps, the difficulty I had processing it. But one thing I'll never forget is when we went into the filming room here, we decided, all right, we're going to do the Tube of Terror version 1 today. This is going to be fun. We both love peanuts. It can't be that bad. So how am I going to prep for this? And I looked at it as a new chili head and as someone at the time who really had a hard time pushing themselves to eat a lot of food. I looked at it and said, this is a lot of food, so I'm not going to prep. And I'm not going to really eat much at all before I do this because it can't be that bad, a tube of peanuts. And I had never seen a Tube of Terror video before. I'd never heard of the aftermath. I just said, here's some spicy peanuts, let's go. And if I am correct, I think Michael ate a good meal before, but he sort of did the same. You know, he didn't prep too well.
Yeah, so I remember, of course, the Tube of Terror challenge is a difficult challenge. But the aftermath was just absolutely brutal. I think that was probably some of our first really intense cramps. And I remember getting over it kind of in a reasonable amount of time, eating, doing some post prep. But if I think back in the last year, that was probably one of the most brutal for Alexandria.
That was my worst.
Because she was up all night. It was a really, really terrible time for her. So yeah. I think that's why this is number 5 on the list.
That's why this is number 5. I won't belabor that point too much though, because many people know the story of me cramping for quite literally 12 hours straight and laying on the floor, crying and covered in sweat.
It's a rite of passage.
It was, and I vowed off doing a challenge ever again. I said, this is not for me.
I said,
This community is not for me. I am not going to continue to do these challenges anymore. I think it took me, which is extreme for me, I think it took me about a week to get over the experience. But after that happened, Michael was there and he said, Alexanne, come on, pick yourself back up. Just try something else. And I think at that point we started looking into challenges before we did them. You know, getting an idea for our other
watching
people.
more videos. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, that sparked our whole obsession with watching videos, because we are not just producers, but we are consumers of YouTube content.
Avid consumers. Yeah.
Yes, we are. And we love the Chili community for that, because it provides us with infinite content, typically, for most weeks. But yeah, that about sums it up. Tube of Terror version 1. That is our number 5 challenge. Let's move on to number 4. Barbie Girl eats many Pocky One Chips, which is our 4th video for today. That is when I consumed 8, going on 9 Pocky One Chips in one sitting. I ate them until I couldn't do it anymore. And the reason why this video is memorable for me is because that is the farthest I've ever pushed myself with Pocky One Chips before. I love the fact that I'm wearing pink and I look like a Barbie in it. Awesome. And also, most importantly, I learned so much about myself and my prep with this video. It marks a point in my life where everything changed for me. It was like one of the most important moments in my chili head career so far, filming that video, because I learned what makes me throw up. And I don't want to do that. When I want to push myself and when I want to bring myself to the next level, go extreme, break a record, that is the last thing you want, is to feel nausea or like you're gonna vomit. I learned that day what can give me the edge to become a real extreme chili head. And from then on, I kind of looked at myself in the mirror and I said, you know, I'm not afraid of challenges anymore. And I'm not afraid of breaking records. I'm not really afraid of anything to do with capsaicin, because I understand prepping for liquid challenges now. I understand prepping for solid challenges. I understand aftercare for all sorts of different types of capsaicin, extracts, cap crystals, regular peppers, powders, you name it. That was one of the videos that kind of just sealed the deal for me, and I had something click in my head. And then when I went on to make my next video, where I did a more extreme challenge that was a solid food challenge like the Pocky One Chip, I did not experience the problems that I had at the end of that challenge, and I fixed my prep issue. So I gotta tell you guys, if you are having issues or you feel like, oh, I always cramp after challenges, or I'm always nauseous because of this, that, the other, just tweak your prep. You've got to learn like what works for you and what things don't work for you. It's all trial and error, really, because there's no silver bullet for all this stuff.
Prep really can vary based on the challenge that you're doing too.
And it does, and that's exactly what I learned in that video.
Trial and error.
It was like, wow, I get it now. So I love that video so much, and other people love it because I'm doing a bunch of Pocky One Chips, and I guess the Pocky One Chip is sort of like a measuring stick for spice tolerance. Like, how do you handle eating one Pocky One Chip? So
exactly, the most I've ever done is 2.
Yes, and we have a few more. Maybe Michael will do more than 2 in 2024. Who knows? It would be a great video. I'd love to see you do it, Michael. All right, well, we can move on now. That about covers number 4. Number 3.
Guys, solid 7 or 8 in my mouth right now.
Oh, it's 7 or 8. Wow.
This is built. I mean,
You're
halfway through, it was like, I didn't feel anything. But yeah, I'm in pain.
so sorry, Michael.
I am in pain. I had 3 major waves of cramps. And I've got some cramping that I'm gonna push through.
Okay.
6 hot ball world record.
All right, this is the one where Michael consumed the most 6 hot balls blazing food challenges in a row. How many tubes was that, Michael?
12 tubes.
12 tubes. And it has been attempted many times after Michael took on that record.
It's a brutal challenge. So it's actually the second time I took the world record. I took it at 6 tubes, and then Chris Scoville Unit took it, and then I took it back.
I really thought you did this 3 times. You've only done it, the record,
I think it's just 2 times.
just 2 times? Okay. We've eaten these 6 hot balls so many times individually, it's really hard to keep track.
Yeah.
But the 6 hot balls record for Michael, I didn't do it, but I was here watching him do it. And boy, I will never forget the intensity of watching him push himself through that challenge. Speak to me about this, because I feel like that was probably, as a chili head, a sort of a breaking point for you too. Like, you really pushed yourself.
There's kind of multiple things. I think the hardest part about that particular world record is just the length. It was over 2 hours, and sitting there, the challenge really became more of a stomach challenge than anything. So I had decent prep, but you can't over prep for these things. I remember that really was the first time I had ever cramped on camera, which, maybe I'm a little bashful. Don't like to really, cramp on camera. It was the first time I did it. When you do these longer records, it's just kind of par for the course. You're going to cramp. There's no way around it. So yeah, the length of the challenge was very difficult. The amount of powder that you consume as a result, it really is just a very difficult, stomach challenge. You got to really have, some stomach tolerance to get there. So yeah, that was, one of the highlights for me, I think, for the year, because it really was, just a lot of pushing.
Yep,
It
a
was
lot
a
of
difficult
pushing,
one.
big time commitment. And I think a lot of people really admired you when you did that, because it was an extreme push. It was really you just kind of saying, hey, I wanna compete hard, I wanna push myself, and it was your first world record. So that's pretty cool.
Or second time I took the
Well,
6 hot balls.
but the 6 hot balls was your first world record, so it's your first one that it stuck. Yeah.
You defend it. So
Cool. Yeah. Okay then, moving on. What comes after number 3? Number 2.
Fonzie's Insane Roulette Challenge,
It's my world record. So,
which you also did twice.
and I did it twice, yes, but for different reasons. Why I am an interesting person. Sometimes I look at myself, I'm like, why did you do that? But it was also something that involved me pushing myself. It was a challenge where I said, I'm going to push myself to take this record. And I took the record, I believe the first time, at 6 cartridges. So if you haven't seen the Fonzie's Insane Roulette Challenge, link in the description to our video. It is where there are 6 bullets in a tube, in a little tube, and it looks like a little, like a revolver, and you take them out of it, and you pull out the little bullets, and you consume them one by one. But I got to the 6th cartridge of them, and I popped. So I threw up, and I couldn't go any further past the 6th. I think I started on the 7th. And I got up the next day, and I was like, I really feel like I want to push myself further. So I might have been a week later.
A week later, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't that long after. I said, Alexandre, let's push yourself again. I did it again, and then I got to 7. So, and I made it halfway through the 8th, and that's when I threw up again. That was before I learned some things about my stomach tolerance. But that challenge is a favorite of mine, obviously, because it really pushed me. I felt like it was pretty difficult, and there's been a few attempts at that one as well after. On the world record, people have tried it.
It's a stomach challenge. That's another one, yeah.
It is. It's
the powder
not,
and the chocolate.
It's not just the mouth heat. It's hot in the mouth too. It's the powder. Those little chocolates are hellish. You know, they look like just
Reaper
little
powder, yeah.
innocent chocolates, but it is a stomach burning challenge. Proud of that record. I do love that challenge because of it, because it's a difficult one, and I feel like it's special to me for that reason.
And a long one. That was over an hour to do that.
It was.
Yep.
And those are the difficult ones, are the ones that push you time wise, because you have to sit here without relief.
Yep.
You cannot eat,
There's
you
no
cannot
escaping it.
drink. You just have to sit here and deal with the capsaicin that is in your stomach.
Yep.
And yeah, you gotta ride it out. You gotta be tough. So that about sums that one up. Love the Fonzie's Insane Roulette Challenge. And that brings us to our number one spot, which belongs to Michael.
He might choke. He might choke.
Michael's got it! Swallow it! Swallow it!
Come on, Michael.
We're almost there.
Show your
I can feel the tension in the air. Cuts like a knife.
Come on, show your man!
There it is! We have a winner! Woo! Woo! Oh my God, that was amazing!
Oh my God.
Let's give it up for all the competitors!
Oh my goodness.
Let's give it up! Holy, I'm gonna say it, holy shit, that was amazing!
So this year we went to San Diego. We did our first extreme pepper eating competition. And I'm happy to say that I won the belt. The thing that was interesting though is this was actually the first road to the belt match match. So there's been a number of them afterwards. Some of our good friends have also won some belts. So going into it, we really didn't know what to expect because it was the first one. Now, we did have an idea of the format because it did fall under League of Fire's extreme pepper eating competition. So you can go to leagueoffire.com, you can go to the chili eating competitions and see that particular category of competition. So, but yeah, both Alexander and I were there on stage competing, and it was
Separately.
Separately, it was really a highlight of our year. It was really just a ton of fun.
Absolutely memorable. And I would like to point out a few things about this belt. First of all, if Michael didn't write this out for you guys, spell this out. This is the San Diego Road to the America's Belt Match belt. There are many different ones that happen, these matches across the United States, but Michael is a San Diego championship holder. And this belt, I believe, is one of the red belts, but Michael's belt is a darker red. I have seen so many of these belts that are a bright cherry crimson, like beautiful red, and Michael's is a little more subdued, and I really like that about your belt. And I think that
It's the first one.
they were the first
Yeah,
one.
they made some
I
changes.
also don't know if anyone else's spins. I think that is the coolest thing. And yeah, maybe they made some changes, but Michael, yours is more of a maroon. It's like more subtle. But you know, Michael loves the color black. Maybe one day he'll get a black belt. Who knows?
That'd be pretty cool. So this means that this year, 2024, I will be competing in the North America belt match, which I'm quite excited for. A number of our friends that we've made over the year will be in that match as well. And Alexander will be competing for a road to the belt match in Tampa this year as well.
Yep, there is one more seat that will be granted to someone based on a belt holder's title, road to the belt match belt holder's title, and that is gonna that seat will be awarded in Tampa this year. I believe in May.
Sure.
Yeah, sure, or April. It's sometime in the first half of this year. And then after that, I assume, I'm not certain, but I assume that the America's belt match will take place again. You know, probably at the beginning of pod season, pepper season, which is fall-ish time. So late summer, early fall. That's the height of pepper growing season for those of you who don't know. And it's going to be really exciting. I will be there regardless of my placement in the road to the America's belt match in Tampa. I will be there supporting Michael as he competes for the belt. Did you know there's a black belt? I'm just curious if you caught on to me saying that earlier.
For the world belt?
Yes.
Yeah, that's my kind of belt.
I just had to give you a little nudge there, because Michael, you know, he loves black. He only wears black. And I'm like, thankfully, this is not a bright red belt because that just would not match you.
It's a beautiful belt.
It is a perfect belt for you.
Honorable mention.
Honorable mention time. Okay.
I think it's worth mentioning our Burnathon series. So we'll link to the playlists in the video where every day of the last month of League of Fire, we did a challenge. And that was actually a challenge of itself. It was pretty difficult to keep that in order. But we did a lot of challenges during that month. It's actually when Alexandria did her Pocky one chip.
It was, yes. And that was an absolutely brutal month of challenges. Every single day, we took on League of Fire challenges for an entire month, 31 days. And it was...
I set a world record. I did the speed blocks that month.
You did.
Yeah, there was just a number of things that we accomplished during that time. So
cool.
It really was. It was fun. It was difficult. And we're happy that we did it. But yeah, definitely check it out. If you haven't watched Burnathon 2023,
watch the playlist. And I'm telling you, it's so much fun to watch them in chronological order because you can watch some days the light fade from our eyes as we say, today is day 17. And, I was cramping all last night, but here I am, ready to eat some chilies. It took a lot from us, but hey,
30 days.
That contributed to something very major for us. So in the final moments, at the finale is what I'm trying to say, of the 2022-23 League of Fire season, Michael and I ranked quite high in the League of Fire Chile Community Championship rankings. I was number 7 in the world, and I was the top-ranked female in the world for chili eating as far as the League of Fire community is concerned. And then, Michael, how'd you rank?
I think I started before Burnathon, I think it was number 4, and then I popped into the top 3. And I think Burnathon is really what kept me in the top 3. I think it would have been pushed out. And that brings us to really...
something very, very special that Michael was awarded. This is Michael's prize, his award, his trophy for placing number 3 in the World Chili Community Championship rankings. And this is the Silver Skull. So
Very
Michael
cool.
is the proud wearer and owner of this ring. And I know it means a lot to him. It's something that he really worked hard for. And it was I know for a fact because I was working right alongside of him, but it was painful for him to win this.
Yeah, I think, I have so much respect for everyone that participates in League of Fire. It really is. First of all, it's a lot of fun, but it does require a lot of discipline and effort. And we had just such a great time, during 2023 doing this.
We did.
Proud of this accomplishment. So thank you, League of Fire, for sending this out. Just such a phenomenal time. So many memories, and just. Obviously, a lot of time Alexander and I get to spend together, doing this and kind of growing and evolving. So just really a great time.
Yep. Well, now, if I'm not incorrect, I think it's time to wrap up this video.
Yep.
All right. Well, that does it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And please check out the links below. We have all of our videos linked that we discussed today. They are worth watching. Some of the most extreme pushes that you'll watch on YouTube this year. We love you all, and we hope that you have a wonderful start to your 2024. We are going to be going harder than you could ever imagine. We're going to be pushing ourselves. We will be just having the time of our lives. Like, this is so much fun. I couldn't ask for anything better in life to keep me entertained. Like, this is the coolest ever, the chili community. So we are loving it. They say, I've heard that chili heads retire after a year usually because it's just too much to handle. Boy, I don't think you guys have met me. Because I think I'll be here for a while. I'm having so much fun. There's like nothing not fun about this. So we're gonna stick around for a while. Subscribe to our channel. Hope you enjoyed this video. Destroy the like button. Michael will destroy the like button with his silver skull ring. And we'll see you in the next video.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Bye, everyone.
Take care.